Hello Internet. We finally made it. Someone has finally invented how to solve a problem of a melted power connector. No one has solved this problem for the 4090s, not yet anyway, but someone has solved this for the 5090s. And what they ended up doing, unfortunately I can't show it to you, is they soldered a secondary power connector here, since the board accommodates for one. And as a result, I don't know, hopefully you can hopefully you can see the result. We have a hole right through the board. Perfect. So obviously I'm not even going to bother trying to get this repaired because it's gonna be a waste of time. Several phases most likely got taken down as a result. So the only sensible thing to do, as well as the not so sensible thing to do that the customer of this card requested me to do, which I will refuse obviously, is to solder another connector on here so that he can continue on burning them holes. No sir, I am not going to do this for the reason, well, you can do whatever you want after the repair warranty expires.
You serious?
Until then, you're gonna be stuck with running this thing with only one power connector, and with the stock BIOS, no overclocking, no liquid hydrogen cooler or whatever. It's just gonna be sitting there playing Tetris for 30 days. Super Mario, maybe, but no overclocking. Either way, my job today is rather simple. I have to get this board prepped. We'll probably have to combat the bulge in the middle, since these boards were very carelessly treated in China while they were removing the core. They heat them to a point of aluminum melting, and allows them for easier removal of the core and completely disregard the value of the board. I can't get this any clearer. If anybody in China is watching my videos, or somebody speaks Chinese who can relay that message to them, please treat these boards as money. These boards are not cheap. In the US, they can go anywhere from $50 to $200 to $300. Depends on the cooler that they come with, or whether or not they come with the cooler at all. So yeah, this is money. Stop treating it like garbage. Regardless, let's I'll probably start prepping the board first, and I'll start doing that. And no, I'm not going to bore you with the whole process, obviously, because it's not gonna be quick. It's gonna take a while, most likely a few hours. Who knows? Depends on how badly screwed up this board is, how many components they got missing and whatnot. Because a lot of times they yank these chips out, they completely disregard all the components that are on the board, and while the board is still hot, they take it off the hot plate and just toss it to the side, and a lot of the components just fly off the board. Thank you very much. Which means it's just a lot more difficult to work on. So, but at the very least, we have something to work on, so it's better than nothing. Either way, I'm gonna start doing my thing. We'll speed the process, obviously, so that you don't have to sit there and freeze to death watching this taking place for hours probably. And stay tuned. I'll get back to you as soon as I'll hopefully manage to move this over here, and then we'll see what happens. Obviously I'm going to be using Blackhorse repair flux because it has two very unique properties that aside from the third one, which is the smell, that I just can't stop using it. It's just so good. So basically it sort of feels like it's providing, it's like almost like it's lubricating. So that's very important, especially when you're dealing with boards that had a lot of thermal paste everywhere or thermal putty. This board, by the way, comes with no thermal pads whatsoever. The geniuses at Gigabyte decided to put thermal putty everywhere, and it's everywhere, as you can see here. It's under the chips and everything. So it's in between the balls. It's causing problems, and those problems are with mixing and removing the solder off the board, because they're like sand. They're scraping the board, they're damaging the pads, and so thanks to this flux, I don't have to worry about that. So it's kind of lubricates the board, making that process a lot easier. And also, this is the easiest to clean flux. I've never seen any flux that can clean as easy as this. The board can be almost cold and you're still able to wipe this off after it had been burned on the board. It's amazing. So even if you burn this thing with the tip, it's very easy to wipe it off afterwards. No other flux can do this. And this aligns with the other YouTubers that I've seen review this flux. I think one guy was from Canada, I think, or Australia. I think he was from Canada, the younger guy. And he was doing some kind of comparison to this flux. And his comments exactly the same. Smells great. He cleans super easy and it works well.
What more do you want?
So that's why I stick to this thing, and I advertise this every opportunity I get. He doesn't pay me for this, though he does keep on sending me few syringes once in a while. I keep telling him, dude, stop. I don't want anything for free. I like to pay for whatever it is that I have. I've paid for everything that I have so far. But he just keeps sending me like different batches, different samples to try out. A lot of them I end up throwing away because some of them were really bad. I ended up keeping some of the older ones. Yeah, 55955-2. They're all starting to turn into a solid, and this one here is one of the recent ones. Either way, I'm going to continue on working on this thing, and hopefully we'll have a fix today. Okay, we are done with switcheroo. My biggest fear with these boards that come from China is that there may be short, because they're often bulged, so no short on the MSVDD, no short on the core. But I had to get it flat just to make sure that there's no issues. And the board itself was significantly cooked, as you would imagine, because they heat these things up really, really hot because they don't care about the board. So hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, it could be worse. All right, so I don't even see knocked off components anywhere, to my surprise. Usually a lot of times something's knocked off. So, but this time it looks okay. All right, either way, let's go ahead and check for resistances real quick. Make sure that nothing is shorted. Okay, so what's on memory? 4 ohms, norm. What is this? Probably PEX. What about here? Probably 1.8, 1.2, who knows? No short, no short, no short here. Alright, so what else? Probably 5, probably 5. And we've already checked MSVDD, another memory coil here. And the core is too short to read with this meter. Alright, let's see if we can power this thing on. This thing's gonna be hungry. And it looks like we are doing good, and the core is warming up. Looks good to me. If it posts, we have a winner. And that would be it for that guy, that was his last secondary power connector he ever soldered. I don't know. I don't see any shunt resistors that are connected to this connector here that would be used to monitor the power. I see these pads. I don't know what these are for. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So if I don't see shunt resistors connected to this, I'd be very skeptical about soldering anything onto this, especially running it under load without monitoring it closely with a thermal camera or something, which I think is the reason why it failed. Something got overheated. A lot of power was delivered to where it wasn't supposed to, and bam, we have a hole. All right, so here goes nothing. One beep, and I think it's posting. Yes! Who's your daddy? That's right, I'm your daddy. He's gonna be so happy he sent it over here. I'm not the best of the best. I'm just the one with no life that has nothing better to do on Sunday night than this. So, and also, he ended up leaving this board, which I already cleaned, so that, I mean, he could have taken it as a trophy, you know, reminder to show it on his YouTube channel and whatnot. But he let me keep it so I can reuse this for parts if I ever need to. There's not a whole lot of value in here either way, but there are some driver MOSFETs here that I may not have or I may have. It's all good. Either way, I'm going to put this thing together, run some tests. Hopefully everything checks out. Also, for everyone who was donating for my sister's funeral, I can't thank you enough, especially those that were contacting me personally, giving all sorts of emotional support, and just a lot of heartwarming experience from complete strangers that I've never met, never seen, don't even know your names. And somehow you found it within you to contact me, a complete stranger who done nothing but maybe a few repairs for you, or maybe you watched the videos, and just being a human being. It was something I've never experienced before, so I'm very grateful for that. Also, I wanted to say that the fundraiser that was started by my cousin, I I haven't looked at what the amount was on there today, but it got up. I think it got up to the goal really quickly. And so some random strangers just donated just ridiculous amounts of money. I don't know who these people are. God bless them. And basically, what I'm trying to say is that I think we're covered. I don't think we're gonna need any more money than we've already accumulated. So, I think it's all gonna be fine. And if there's anything else, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to cover for the rest of it. So, but again, thank you very much for everyone who contributed. Whether you contributed with the money donation or you contributed with, just sending me a DM with the heartwarming words and whatnot, I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, I'm not asking anybody to donate any more money. The funding will not. They don't want to close the fund, not yet, because they haven't shared it at our local churches. So the church, the one that I attend and the one that I used to attend back home in Washington, I don't think they donated anything yet. But I don't know. They're keeping the fundraiser still open, just in case, because we still don't. It's Sunday and we still don't know how much things are gonna cost. But I'm pretty sure whatever amount we've collected so far is if not more than enough, then it's still a lot, and I would definitely not be able to pull this off by myself. So because she was murdered, apparently there's some kind of a programs, like assistance programs and whatnot, that giving them a discount for like a gravestone or whatever. I don't know exactly what's going on over there. So it's not too bad, It's not. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I'm not the greatest speaker in the world. I do my videos mostly sitting down and scripting them. Make sure things kind of sound logical and right to some degree. Kind of trying to make up a story, but if you just, but I can't really sit down and write a script of how to think everybody that supported our family. So I don't think it just doesn't sound like it would be a right thing to do. But at the same time, I can't really come up with you know with words. I don't know. I don't know. It's very unusual. It's definitely something, it's very unusual. I don't know how to really put this together other than to say thank you all. And I wish that none of this would ever happen to anybody, obviously. I mean, who would wish something like this to happen to anybody? Either way, I think I'm done with the repair. We'll plug it in, run some tests. If anything, I'd ask you guys to not worry about me as much as from my mother, because the thing is, ever since we moved out of Washington, I wasn't really keeping close contact with my sister because we would exchange messages here and there. I would sometimes talk to her while she's on the speaker with my mother, but for the most part, we were just kind of there, you know. So I'm not taking it anywhere near as hard as she does, because she was. I'm talking about my mother, because she was on the phone within the last few months with her almost daily, and not to mention she went back home to Washington a few times to see her, so she was a lot closer connected to her than I ever was. And given the fact that she heard her getting murdered over the phone, that was something that could haunt her for life. So, if anything, I would ask you guys, especially those who believe in the power of prayer, just pray for my mother so that she will find peace, and so that she's not going to lose her mind over it. Us guys, we just kind of swallow it and move on with our lives. But when it comes to mothers bearing their old children, it's not that simple. In any case, thank you for watching. Hopefully this video was started off with a positive note, but ended in not so positive. But still, it is what it is. So hopefully this will be the last video of this kind. I'll hopefully, once everything's settled down with the funeral and whatnot, we'll be able to resume, or at least I'll be able to resume a normal operation, which will probably be a week from now, and start taking care of the repairs and the people that are on the waiting list and all that. And that's probably all I have for you today. So thank you for watching, and have a blessed day. Goodbye.